Joyce Campbell. Where did you come from and where did you grow up, and how the blazes did you get up here?
I was born and raised in Malden, Massachusetts, which is a community of 80,000 people just 6 miles north of Boston.
Wow.
So I was in the city a lot growing up.
Gotcha.
And then, when I finished high school, I became an X-ray technician at the Leahy Clinic in Boston because they paid $25 a week because my mom wouldn't let me go to post-secondary school. And then after that, I came back to Malden and worked at the hospital for a while, and then met a fella who was playing hockey for Providence College and who was on a full scholarship from Chatham, Ontario. So we married in his third year of university, and the deal was when school was over, we would have to come to Canada, because if not, he would be drafted into the Vietnam War.
Well, that's a fairly strong incentive.
Yes, so that's how I ended up in Canada, in Chatham in the beginning. And then he was teaching in Ingersoll, so we moved to Ingersoll. And in those days, the Globe and Mail was just full of jobs, prospective jobs. And he applied for a job in Timmins because it was a headship, and they needed a goalie, so he got the job.
It's amazing what skills get you into where you want to be.
That's right. So in my career working, I always got the job and then got certified. So we moved to Timmins, and I was a stay-at-home mom because I had 3 little boys. And finally, he said to me, my husband, I think it's time you went back to work. Yeah, like the youngest was, I think, 8. So it was time, and I got a job with Cooperators Insurance.
Up in Timmins?
Yes. And as a sales rep, and then graduated to sales manager for a number of years. And then a buddy of mine said, I think you should come into business with me. So we did that, and we we had the direct deposit, the only ones. Like now, mortgage brokers and all, they can shop around, but in those days, nobody shopped around. So I was able to shop around for GICs and investments like that. And then in the same building was another fellow, and he said, we've got a job opening as a development officer to revitalize the community of Schumacher. He said, I think you'd be great. So off I went to another job, and I did that. It was a $10 million revitalization project. And of course, up north, you can lever a lot of money from the government. So I did that, and I think it was 5 or 6 years my contract was over. So they were so impressed with my work, the city, I went to run the Timmins Gold Mine Tour.
Which is a very successful tourism attraction.
It was.
Yeah.
It is no longer.
Gotcha.
It's all open pit mining now.
Okay.
And then from there, when that contract was almost over, I applied, because I was certified to be an economic developer at that point. I applied for a job in Midland and other places, and I got the job in Midland to manage the Chamber of Commerce and be Economic Development Commissioner, and beat out 221 applicants. So that's how I ended up in Midland.
Gotcha.
It's a long story, but
No,
I got here.
Now, I know you were in the chamber for roughly 5 years. What would you say was your greatest accomplishment while being in that position in Midland?
Probably, winning many, many marketing awards. And I think the most return bang for my buck that I ever got, because we did a lot of trade shows. Like I was on the road all winter with St. Marie among the Hurons and Discovery Harbor. But there was a cruise ship seminar in Detroit. So I thought, I might as well go to that. Let's see what we can do. So I talked to one fellow, I forget his name or the name of the ship, but I convinced him, I had a little slideshow, and I convinced him that his ship should come to Midland because it was tons and tons and tons of things to do. So he rejigged his whole cruise to come to Midland, and came here for a number of years later, and then it just blossomed that more cruise ships started to come.
No, that's pretty.
But it was, you do trade shows, you've done them,
Yep.
and you don't know if you've accomplished anything or not, but that was immediate bang for my buck.
Yeah, we used to get cruise ships in Midland for years and years, but back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, but it really died off. And it is coming back. More and more companies. Viking, for instance, now has a cruise boat exclusively for the Great Lakes, but Midland is not on its destination.
Well,
So-
somebody needs to call them up.
Well, someone needs to work with them to make that destination worthwhile. Anyway,
But that was my fun part of the job, was all the tourism side.
sure. Well, and that's when we got to know each other quite well.
Yes, the Midland Penetanguishene Tourism Consortium.
That's right.